Welcome back, trainers, and we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go ahead and hop into the Master Premier, and we're going to go ahead and use our level 51 shiny 98% Cloyster here. And this time around, we're going to be going with Avalanche instead of Hydro Pump. Avalanche is just seeming to be a better move at this time. Hydro Pump takes forever to get there, and Cloyster is kind of glassy. It's just not really that great. Also, we're going to have Haxorus and Metagross. So this team was pretty fun to use. And Togekiss obviously is going to be a problem for the Haxorus, but you know, we do have the Cloyster, which is going to be able to take care of it. Of course, the Metagross as well with the standard moves here. Haxorus does have Counter, Night Slash, and Dragon Claw. So it was recommended by you guys. You were asking if I can do some of the Master League. So here we are, and let's get into it. So they're going to be swapping into their Togekiss, in which we're going to go right into our Metagross here. We're looking great. We're going to farm a little bit of extra energy here, so we have something ready to go after this. They're going to be letting it go down. They still have 2 shields left. And let's go ahead and see what we have. We're going to go ahead and let this go through. It is an Earthquake taking us out, but we do have a Haxorus back here with 2 shields. Now, the Bullet Punch is starting to add up, but I do believe we'll be able to win this here. I think they actually back out. They realize yet. So that's going to be a good game there. And this team is actually pretty okay. Is Cloyster worth it? Now, before we continue on, if you haven't been watching my other videos and are not up to speed as to why I actually have this level 51 shiny 98 Cloyster, it's because I needed it to go beyond a specific level. It requires you to max out 3 Pokemon to level 50, and Cloyster was one of the ones I had enough candies to do so. On top of having this nice 90 shiny 8. Why not? Exactly, we went right for it. In Alaska, we do have quite a few of these spawning on top of the event that we did have. I was going crazy by just pineapping every single one, and we were able to do that, as well as the Wooper and the Gulpin, which is woof, wow, yikes. Yes, we had to do that. Anyways, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not something you're going to want to go out of your way and max out a Cloyster. But it is going to be pretty interesting, and we have it, so we're using it up against the Gyarados here. Do not mind this matchup at all. Let's see if that's actually going to be a Dragon Breath. It is, so we're going to swap into our Cloyster here. This is a good matchup for us. Crunch does hurt. If they have Dragon Breath, you can more than likely count that they're going to have Crunch and Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail does absolutely very little damage to the Cloyster, as you could assume, seeing that we are going to be part water. As well as bringing their attack even lower. Well, it's just not doing much, as you can see here. And we're going to be able to get off another Icy Wind, absolutely not using a shield at this time. And we're able to take out the Gyarados. So yeah, it's not the best thing around if it's not beyond level 40, the Cloyster. If it's completely maxed out there at level 50, then you're going to be looking good. So we're going to be able to have them back out and take the win there. Let's keep it going here, folks. King of Aces. You guys thought that was pretty funny, so I'll embrace it. We'll be the King of Aces over here, right? So we are matched up with a Swampert for the beginning. This is great. We love this. So that was very quick, and we're calling that Hydro Cannon obviously there. And we're just going to go ahead and go for Icy Wind to lower the attack. Now, there's not very many times in where I go for Avalanche. You're pretty much just Icy Winding everything. So we're going to go ahead and swap. They are going into their Metagross here. And we do have a bunch of energy on our Cloyster that we can save for a later time. And the Haxorus here is, as a matter of fact, a counter to the Metagross. It's not a hard counter because you have to shield up the charge moves because they still do hurt. They're going for Psychic, oddly enough, and we're able to get to another one of these charge moves here. And we're taking it out. We have used the shield, and they have 0. They're going in with the Togekiss, which is perfectly fine with me. We're going to go ahead and go in here with the Metagross and start farming up. Now, unfortunately, I think we... Okay, though, they went to Swampert to catch this Meteor Mash. Very, very clever here. All right, so now we're going to go ahead. Oh, we wanted to swap into Cloyster. I think we let... okay, we're shielding this up. It's a Hydro Cannon. We weren't 100% sure. So now we are shieldless at this point. This is absolutely going to be another Hydro Cannon. That was way too quick for anything else. And we're going to go ahead and go for that Icy Wind. I think we're looking pretty good here, but let's see how this plays out. They still have 1 shield left, and what's going to be going back in here with the Togekiss. Now, if they're going to probably be obligated to shield. Yeah, there they go, using that shield. They're not getting too much farm on us. Metagross is going to simply be able to go in here and take a Flamethrower. We did lower the attack, so that's good. And we are going to be able to farm it down with the Metagross. Fantastic, folks. Let's keep it moving here into the next battle. If you do enjoy these, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps me dramatically. So we're going to be met with a Gyarados right off the bat with Dragon Breath. And, you know, this isn't the worst position here. We are taking neutral damage from that Dragon Breath without stab, but Waterfall would be a lot more appreciated going up against it. So they're going to go for that Aqua Tail right away. We're letting it go through. Still holding on to 2 shields, and so are they. Getting to another Icy Wind, and they're getting to a charge move. We're going to go ahead and let this go through, seeing that we did lower their attack, no problem. And it is just another Aqua Tail, and it looks like we're going to be able to come out on top for this. Unless they shield this up here, they're going to be letting it go through. That's great. And taking us down. We're taking them down. They're going to be bringing in the Metagross. We're not going to be swapping. We do not want to lose the swap advantage here. They're going to be going for that Meteor Mash. We're going to be shielding this up. We still have 2 shields left. We're absolutely in a comfortable position to do so. And they're going to be swapping into their Rhyperior with Mud Slap. It's going to be super effective to the Metagross here. So we're getting off that Dragon Claw. Going to be getting off another one to put on the pressure to use those shields here. And they're letting that one go through as well, swapping into Metagross to catch whatever they're going to throw at us here. We don't want to use that last shield, and we want to keep that Haxorus alive with a little bit of health. They still have 2 shields left. How is this going to be playing out? Metagross can't put in work if it does have 2 shields. We're just going to go straight for the Meteor Mash here. I think it's a little too risky for them to just let anything go through, so they're absolutely going to be using one of those shields there. And I can't wait for them to get to a Meteor Mash here. They're going to be using up that energy. We're just going to go and just try to get to a Meteor Mash. Unfortunately, we can't, and they're getting a little bit more farm. In comes the Haxorus here. Can we outpace it to 2 Night Slashes is the question here, because that's what we're going to have to do. I mean, I almost feel like we can almost counter it down, but let's see how this does play out. It's a very close game. I honestly thought that this could be potentially a loss, and we're able to get to another Night Slash. Crazy enough. Counter does charge or moves fast in combination with the moves that it does currently have. Equals a very deadly spammy dragon. So we gotta love this thing over here. Fantastic. Moving it into the next battle, we're met with a Dragonite. This is a very good lead for us, and they're going to be swapping into Gyarados. And we're going to go ahead and go into Haxorus, seeing that it does have Waterfall. We're going to be able to resist that quite nicely and spam it with these charge moves. Doing quite a bit there. Our quick move is going to be resisted as well, but counter is just one of the best. And charging so fast, it doesn't really matter. Hitting us with an Outrage, which I anticipated there. Going for 2 Night Slashes. We built up quite a bit of energy, expecting a shield, and there we go. Beautiful. They want to use another shield, then, you know, by all means, you go ahead and do that right now. All right, they're letting it go through, so we got a shield and we got an attack boost, but that's going to be going down there because, well, Dragon Breath's doing so much to us. And they're going to be swapping into their Metagross. We're going to be doing that instantly as well, and they do have a little bit more energy at this time here, so this is probably going to be an Earthquake, but we fall for the bait. It is just a Meteor Mash here. A lot of people do that. They go for the first Meteor Mash, and then they go for the Earthquake afterwards after you used your shield. And they are calling it correctly. Very nice. And we're just going to go for another one here. Meteor Mash does get resistance up against Metagross, but it is doing so much that that would have been able to take it out there. So they are using that last shield. This is perfectly fine if they hit us with Earthquake here. We have so much energy. Are we going to be able to pull this off? Let's see here. Going for an Icy Wind or an Avalanche. Okay. Oh, all right. We took him out, and in comes the Dragonite. We're going to be able to go for an Icy Wind. I was a little nervous that this wasn't going to KO, but it absolutely is going to. Does tons and tons of damage because of that Dragon and Flying type, and we're level 51. Let's go. Next battle, we're met with a Snorlax here. Now, this is very interesting. We need to kind of look out for the Superpower. If they decide to go for that and retreat, that will be doing super effective damage to our Ice typing here. But they're going to be going for that Body Slam right off the bat. We're building up to, I mean, well, Icy Wind and Avalanche are basically the same here, so we're just going to go for an Icy Wind to kind of lower the attack, take less damage here. For the next one, I think we'll go ahead and go for the Avalanche. Now, we have to call this. We're going to go ahead and let it go through. It is just another Body Slam, so it's a good thing here. But otherwise, they probably would have had to swap, and making it so they are going to lose swap advantage. So a little bit of lag there, pretty wacky, but it doesn't really change any sort of outcome that would have seen there, I don't think. Now we have to make a decision here. They're going to be swapping instantly into Gyarados with Waterfall as I go into my Haxorus. And I got to admit, I just put a smile on my face because this is just perfect with that quick move. We're going to be able to spam it and take that thing out. So we got the call this here. We're going to go ahead and shield it up. It is an Aqua Tail bait, unfortunately, but better safe than sorry. Because more than likely, if somebody is running a Waterfall, they're going to be running an Outrage. So we're going to be letting that next one go through, calling it. And we built up to 2 Dragon Claws here, feeling comfortable enough to just let that go through, getting their last shield. And we're going to go ahead and go for a Dragon Claw because we're going to be getting stabbed, and I don't want to play the gamble game and whether or not we're going to get the boost. So they're going to be bringing in their Snorlax to take us out, which is perfectly fine with me. We're going to go ahead and farm it down with our Metagross. There's 0 shield, so they're in pretty big trouble here. Bringing in their Gyarados at this time. Now, I was thinking, yeah, they probably have Outrage, but we're going to go ahead and crunch or shield up the crunch, and they did have it. So thank goodness we did that. And I'm thinking, there's no way they have another crunch here. Come on. and it is an Aqua Tail. So thank goodness we almost do have 2 Meteor Mashes, no shields, and they do have a Swampert in the back. So this is getting a little close here. We're going to go straight for the Earthquake. And they go for the Meteor Mash. Can we make it? Oh, that was a close game. We almost had it, unfortunately. Meteor Mash would have been able to push us over the edge to take the win, but they're going to be taking us here. So we have a veteran. Let's go. They're coming down to battle the Ace King. Let's see what they have. So we're going up against a Rhyperior with Smackdown. This is going to be dealing super effective. Well, we're actually dealing super effective right back, but theirs is going to be doing more damage. As you can clearly see, we are going to be lowering their attack, getting 1 shield out of them. We're going to absolutely be shielding this up as well, because we want to get off 1 more Icy Wind. They're going for Superpower and staying in here, which is very interesting. I guess they don't want to lock themselves into a Pokemon, using 2 shields. And again, that's absolutely fantastic here. Since it does have Smackdown, we can go in here with the Metagross and start farming. They're going to be swapping into their Gyarados with Dragon Breath. And I just systematically went in here with my Haxorus. And I was like, oh, the Dragon Breath is not pleasant, but hey, it is what it is. We had to make this call here, so let's see. Metagross can handle pretty much almost anything, as opposed to Haxorus. If it go up against a Togekiss, it's a GG. So I decided to just go in there with the Haxorus and use whatever we had left in here, and then finish it off with the Metagross, and we should be able to sweep whatever's back there potentially. Let's see what happens. We still have a shield left, so it is looking pretty good, and they have a Metagross. Now I had to be very careful here. See, they were trying to catch an Earthquake, so that's great. We're going to go ahead and shield this up. Superpower. And getting a little risky and farming down. Simply going to go for Earthquake up against this Metagross here and take the win. So it's a good thing we were patient and we did not throw that Earthquake. Otherwise, we would have been in a little bit of a jam. So we got another veteran. It looks like everybody's gotten word that they want to come down and battle, you know. All right, so they're going to be starting off with Togekiss greatly for us. They're going to be swapping into their Snorlax, and we're going to go ahead and go right into our Haxorus here because we do have counter. Metagross doesn't really appreciate that lick damage. All right, now we get a little brave here. We're actually going to let this go through. Superpower would have hurt quite a bit. Outrage also would have KO'd, I do believe. So letting it go through, surviving it, and they're letting it go through as well. So no shields have been used, but we are winning that battle, which is fantastic. Expecting that Togekiss to come right back in here. For some reason, they didn't attack right away. So yeah, they missed a couple of quick moves there. And we're able to get off this charge move. Not that it's going to really make too much of a difference. We have a Cloyster and a Metagross in the back here, so they're pretty much stuck. They're going into Swampert instantly, and again, this is fantastic for us because Cloyster can handle a Swampert, right? Because of that part ground type, and hitting us with Hydro Cannon just doesn't really do much. As you can see here, after lowering their attack, even if we didn't lower their attack, we're resisting it, obviously, right? Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go for a Avalanche, getting that through. That's one of the first times we used it and actually getting it through. Very nice. Hitting us with another Hydro Cannon and letting it go through. And they have a lot of energy built up here going for another one. And I do believe, yeah, we're going to start to shield this one up. And they're going in with Togekiss. We're instantly swapping. We have energy on our Cloyster here as well as another shield. Simply going to be farming this down and letting this go through. No problem at all. Even if it is a Flamethrower, it is just going to be Ancient Power. And we're going to be able to take the win here. They do back out. Alright, so let's get it, folks. This Cloyster is putting in work here. What is the star of the team? Well, I mean, they're all pretty good. They're all playing their positions, but let's be honest, Metagross is really good. I haven't said it in the video, but we've been over it plenty of times when I do go into the Master Premiere ever since XL Candy has been released. The Metagross is 100, and it is, I do believe, level 42.5, something like that. So beyond 40. So we have a Bear Tick, very interesting, but I want to talk about the Metagross again. So if I go up against another 100, I will be winning CMP. It is a very nice deal, but if I go up against somebody, obviously, who has theirs XL powered up beyond mine, well, I will be losing that CMP. So Bear Tick, very nice and spicy. You got to commend people that are using interesting things here. So could have potentially went in here with Cloyster and farmed down, not very effective against it, I guess. So they're going to be going in here with a Excadrill, and that is something a Metagross doesn't necessarily want to see. It is a very squishy Pokemon, but it is dealing a ton of damage. They're going to be swapping back into their Metagross when we go into our Cloyster here, and I'm simply trying to figure this out because it's not looking like we're going to be able to pull this one off here, folks, but we're not going to give up and just simply back out. Let's see what we have going on. Going for an Icy Wind. They're letting it go through. We still have one shield left. What's it going to be? I think we need to shield this up here, lower their attack, and potentially get their last shield out of them. Let's see. Oh my goodness, yeah, this is the one where, check this out, so we almost have our switch clock up. I was trying to catch this with Metagross, but unfortunately they did take us out before we were actually able to swap, so that's going to be a GG. Excadrill taking us out. Alrighty, into the next battle here. Let's see what we have going on with the veteran. Met with a Togekiss, swapping instantly into Metagross, and we're going to go right into our Haxorus. You guys already know what it is, so let's see what we have. We're more than likely, well, not more than likely, we're going to be shielding up that Meteor Mash, that first one. They're going to be letting that first charge move go through, so at this point, I do believe I'm going to be farming this down. Yeah, they're going to be coming back in with the Togekiss, which is not the best at all for Haxorus. As a matter of fact, all the charge moves are going to be massively resisted. Might as well just go for Dragon Claw. You're going to be doing a little bit more damage because you're getting stab, I suppose. We do have 2 of those built up. I guess we're just going to put up a little bit of a fight and chip damage before we do go down. That's perfectly fine. They still have 2 shields. Now, what is the game plan? Go in here with Metagross and farm. They're going to be swapping into their Swampert. We're going to go ahead and go right into our Cloyster here now. Here we go. Fantastic. Cloyster is pretty good to cover Metagross's weaknesses, although what is a bit of a issue, I think Magnezone, although it's not completely, it's not a great lead, but we can figure it out. We do have Haxorus to take it out, resisting the electric and neutral with the steel type, but it's not doing that much. The steel type move, the mirror shot. Going to be going for an icy wind here. See, are we going to get a shield? Yes, we do. That is their first one, and they're going to be throwing their energy here, which is perfect. Going to be shielding it up because their quick move is doing barely any damage at this time. They're going to be swapping into Togekiss, which is perfectly fine as well. We're going to go ahead and go into our Metagross here, farm them down, and then we're going to go ahead and farm down the Swampert as well. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on, we're keeping you up to date on everything Pokemon Go and bringing you some more battles. Take care.